So, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the tools we will need to be able to install Christmas lights safely and not get hurt or injured, hopefully. So, this is everything you will need. I will put a list underneath the page of this of all the links that you can go buy it from through here. I will be, some of them are affiliate links that I will get commission off of, some are not. Some are just, different things that makes installing Christmas lights a lot easier. So the first thing we'll need is a hammer drill. It don't have to be some big special hammer drill. It can be a hammer drill that is just, we use a Porter cable. It's actually light. It's not real heavy. I've used a DeWalt, but it does need to be a cordless hammer drill. Like I say, the Porter one that I will put in the link here, it's very light, it's very easy, and it's not very heavy at all. The next thing with that Porter, or with that drill, hammer drill, we will need a tap cons. The tap cons are what screw into the concrete, and so you will need the TapCon kit. I'll show you the TapCon kit here. This kit works really well. It works whether we're using 5/16 or I'm sorry, 1/4 inch or 3/16 TapCons. I like using the 3/16 TapCons by like 2.5, 3 inches. And when we're using those, I like using the square head or the hex head versus just the Phillips head tap cons. The next thing we'll need are some side cuts, some cutters to cut the wire. The cutters I like have big, heavy plastic coating on them, so that way you can actually slide on slide on some of the male and females here. You can use that handle to help slide that on, and I show that in a different video where we're actually installing the lights, but that way it makes it easier to install that. We need an electric tester. It's called a kilowatt, and I'll show right here. And this kilowatt meter works and lets us know how many amps we are pulling at a house. Not only that, it lets us know how many amps we're pulling, it will also let us know that we got 120 voltage, so that way we know we have the correct voltage for the house also. There was an instance that I had some lights, they worked perfect during the day, and at nighttime they all went dim. They all went like dim to nothing. So I was able to use this meter to find out at nighttime. I was only, all the landscape lightings came on, and my lights were down to, or my voltage was down to 90 volts. And these lights won't work at 90 volts very well at all. We need 120 volts, and we need only 7 amps is what our cord is rated at. So that is why we want to have this kilowatt meter. On this electric tester also, we use the GFCI tester. That way, if we do something stupid like cut the wire and it's hot, it will pop that breaker hopefully instead of the breaker inside or the GFCI inside the house. It don't always pop, but most of the time it will catch it from popping the electric. So this is a very important tool. This is the one tool that gets used by the lead guy all the time, and to make sure that we're not popping stuff and having issues with doing that. Work pouches. You'll see the work pouches here and over here to the left here, and you'll see the other left here, right over here, that we use these to put clips in and bulbs in, and we use this up on the roof to be able to hold our stuff and everything like that. The next thing is cougar paws. Cougar paws have a big thick padding underneath, a foam padding, that we can walk up and down this roof right here with cougar paws on. He actually don't have his cougar paws on this one here, but he's actually using the goat, which is on down here. But cougar paws work amazing. you can walk on about anything with cougar paws. Um, Mr. Longarm, we're going to need Mr. Longarm with a paintbrush roller, and I'll show you in another video down here of how to set up, and this is how we're able to do tall trees is through this through that Mr. Longarm and that. So we will need a Mr. Longarm. They're about 40 bucks. They're not that expensive. You can get them at your local hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, and you can go there and get them there. Ladders, we will need ladders. We use a 28 foot and we also use a 40 foot. We hate Mr. 40, but we do use a 40. And there's been times that we will actually go and rent a 48 foot ladder to be able to get to certain peaks on houses. You got to remember, we are talking about big houses because these are the people who got big money. So, you know, you're not going to be on a little one-story houses all the time. Most of the time you're going to be on bigger two-story houses because those are the people that got the money. So we're going to need ladders. You could do a 32 foot also, you know, a 28, 32, and a 40. We just found out that a 28 and a 40 are all we really need to carry. The Goat Assist is what he's on right now, that blue thing with yellow handles, and he's actually sitting on that roof right there. Or you can also use there's also another tool that you can use. It's called the Ridge Pro, and the Ridge Pro works good so that way you can go up on the ridge and actually holds over. You it puts a harness on you, and this will keep you safe too from falling off the roof. If you actually put the screws in, it's considered an anchor at that point. If you don't put that in, technically it's still not an anchor system, but it would keep you from most likely falling off the roof unless you was able to do something. But it does work good. It will keep you safer than not going up with nothing on. So I do the Goat Assist here is a great tool. So OSHA says that you have to be able to go up the roof for 15 minutes and to put this on. So you could kind of technically get away with it, but I'm not saying that. You know, you really need to put a harness on when you're up on the roof, or you need to do it from the ladder. So this is another way we can install lights. This is basically all the tools we need to be able to install Christmas lights. You may need a screwdriver here or there, but most of the time we don't. You know, wire cutters and hammer drill and our work pouch, and we're ready to go to work.